Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're exploring the classic short story After 20 Years by OHenry. This tale of friendship and unexpected twists is sure to captivate you. Let's dive right in. Our story begins on a chilly, windy night in New York City. The streets are almost empty, with a light drizzle in the air. We meet a policeman on his nightly beat, patrolling the quiet streets. The policeman was walking down the streets, trying doors as he went, twirling his club with many intricate and artful movements. The policeman notices a man in the doorway of a darkened hardware store. As the policeman walked up to him, the man spoke up quickly.
It's all right, officer. I'm just waiting for a friend. It's an appointment made 20 years ago. About that long ago, there used to be a restaurant where this store stands. Big Joe Brady's restaurant.
Until 5 years ago. It was torn down then.
The man in the doorway struck a match and lit his cigar. The light showed a pale, square-jawed face with keen eyes and a little white scar near his right eyebrow. His scarf pin was a large diamond.
20 years ago tonight, my best friend Jimmy and I dined at that restaurant. I was leaving for the West to seek my fortune while Jimmy stayed in New York. We agreed to meet here again exactly 20 years from that date and time, no matter what our conditions might be or from what distance we might have to come. I came 1,000 miles to stand in this door tonight, and it's worth it if my old partner turns up.
It sounds pretty interesting. Rather a long time between meets, though. Haven't you heard from your friend since you left?
Well, yes, for a time we corresponded, but after a year or two we lost track of each other.
The waiting man pulled out a handsome watch, the lids of it set with small diamonds.
3 minutes to 10. It was exactly 10 o'clock when we parted here at the restaurant door.
Did pretty well out west, didn't you?
You bet. I hope Jimmy has done half as well. He was a kind of plodder, though, good fellow as he was. I've had to compete with some of the sharpest wits going to get my pile.
The policeman twirled his club and took a step or two.
I'll be on my way. Hope your friend comes around all right.
I'll give him half an hour at least. If Jimmy is alive on Earth, he'll be here by that time. So long, officer.
Good night, sir.
As the cold drizzle continued, the man, who had come 1,000 miles to fill an appointment, waited patiently for about 20 minutes for his friend. Then a tall man in a long overcoat, with collar turned up to his ears, hurried across from the opposite side of the street. He went directly to the waiting man.
Is that you, Bob?
Is that you, Jimmy Wells?
It's Bob, sure as fate. Well. 20 years is a long time. The old restaurant's gone, Bob. I wish it had lasted so we could have had another dinner there.
Bully, it has given me everything I asked it for. You've changed lots, Jimmy. I never thought you were so tall by 2 or 3 inches.
Oh, I grew a bit after I was 20. Come on, Bob. We'll go around to a place I know of and have a good long talk about old times.
The two men started up the street, arm in arm. The man from the West, his egotism enlarged by success, was beginning to outline the history of his career. The other, submerged in his overcoat, listened with interest. At the corner stood a drugstore, brilliant with electric lights. When they came into this glare, each of them turned simultaneously to gaze upon the other's face. Bob stopped suddenly and released his arm.
You're not Jimmy Wells. 20 years is a long time, but not long enough to change a man's nose from a Roman to a pug.
It sometimes changes a good man into a bad one. You've been under arrest for 10 minutes, Silky Bob. Chicago thinks you may have dropped over our way and wires us she wants to have a chat with you. Going quietly, are you? That's sensible. Here's a note I was asked to hand you. It's from Patrolman Wells.
Bob unfolded the little piece of paper. His hand was steady when he began to read, but it trembled a little by the time he had finished. The note was rather short.
Bob, I was at the appointed place on time. When you struck the match to light your cigar, I saw it was the face of the man wanted in Chicago. Somehow, I couldn't do it myself, so I went around and got a plainclothesman to do the job. Jimmy.
The story ends with Bob being taken away by the plainclothes policeman, his hopes of rekindling an old friendship dashed by the revelation of his criminal past. And there you have it, folks. After 20 Years by OHenry. It's a poignant story about how time can change people and the moral dilemmas we face. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more literary breakdowns. Leave a comment below about your thoughts on the story or any other classics you'd like us to cover next. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.